So, bit different morning today. Got Stephen here, travelled all the way from Scotland. Big agency owner now, big shot in his car, which we'll show in a bit. He's a big shot now, and so you know, as a new big shot, if you've got any wisdom you would like to share, I'd like to share wisdom in these little coffee segments.
Definitely. I always whinge about the same stuff. The biggest piece of wisdom I've got is US Sims don't make a difference, and you should be more organised than you think you actually are. Hire extra people to be more organised all the time. I love being organised. I organise everything. I'm a psychopath about it.
Yeah. And what would you say is like what would you say is the three biggest? You've been doing this for just over a year now, haven't you?
Yeah.
You started working with me in December of last year.
That's right. Yep.
So what would you say since December is like the three biggest? What's the three biggest lessons / mistakes that you've made since that in that entire time period that were like maybe those days where you were like, fuck, this could have been a business ender if I didn't? Like any big mistakes or not really, or any lessons?
We've definitely learned lessons. We're quite quick to adapt. So like I've got a statistics background, right? So like I'm good at spotting what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
And we tend to be able to predict the future quite well using those stats that we gather.
Do you want a black coffee?
And yes, please.
I might have a black coffee. You don't want milk, no?
Just just an espresso. We tend to be able to predict the future quite well. So like I've seen client decline coming,
yes,
and been able to act on it, and been able to either tell the clients that they're going into decline, which actually makes them pretty angry, I learned. So you need to manage that conversation well. You're going into decline and it's all your fault because you don't produce any content. That's not how you do it. So like learning how to actually work with creators was an experience for me, like, because creators think differently.
Yeah.
And coming from a statistical background, like I don't think like a normal person, right? I think like a maniac.
Yeah.
Like learning to work with content creators was probably the biggest thing that I had to learn, and we made a lot of mistakes in that space. Like you kind of tell them to work in specific ways. Like they like to maintain their creative controls. You kind of tell them what to do. You have to suggest, right? It's probably the biggest thing. Like, so we had a client where we were just telling her this is what needs to be done, and she kicked off and just like, well, we're not doing this. This isn't going to work for me. So we had to reevaluate our position, basically, and how we operate. It's probably one of the biggest ones. That you're not in control, basically. It's a partnership. Right?
Yeah. Snow said about that in yesterday's episode.
And I think a lot of people think, oh no, I'm running the business, I'm in control. No, you're not in control.
Yeah.
They're in control.
Yeah, 100%.
You're there to. I actually just got off a call. I mean, you were in the kitchen when I was in the call, and I was explaining to the potential client I was talking to, like, it's a partnership in the sense that we're there to build you a business and support that business, but we can't do it without you, right? Admitting that initially.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people come into the business like, you couldn't do this without us. And whilst that's possibly true, they could still make money without you. Maybe not as much, but they could make money without you. But we couldn't make money without them.
Yeah.
No one's buying this, right? On OF.
Yeah.
This is not being sold, right? They're buying the clients definitely. They're not going to buy what I'm selling. Absolutely not. So having that mindset right, because at the start I was like, oh, they can't make this money without us. Definitely not. But
you learn that the fast and hard way when you lose a big client or something goes wrong. We did. We lost a $60,000 a month client, and that was the last move. It was like, okay, it gets to a point where it's not just about money. They actually do care about a lot of other things, and you kind of realize that, like, they could. We never assumed she would just leave, but she did. She was just like, well, I'll just go and find. This
is well better than the coffee Adam made me before. But he made me yesterday, and this is far superior. I don't know what you've done, mate. But sorry, Adam. Sorry, mate. But that actually leads into the second thing. Actually, you want three things. The second thing, right, is then experiencing that made me reevaluate our service design. So like we were very focused on performance design. How can we maximise everything in terms of like what is the most efficient way? And I sort of lost my way in terms of trying to squeeze 100% out of everything. And what we've modified the business now to work with like a more user-driven design. So like we consult with our clients, and like Jordan's over there. He might wander at the camera eventually, but Jordan designs our services in consultation with the client. So what works for you? Like rather than just building a service and saying use this, we say how would this work for you? What do you use? Do you like email? Do you like WhatsApp? Do you like Discord? What platforms do you use, and how do you interact with them? And understanding their usage broadly across the whole portfolio allows us then to say, right, cool, that product's going to work because they've asked for the features. So much like the CRM tools we use, they don't ask us what features we want, they just go ahead, right? If they asked us, they would get better results. They would make more money from us because they're giving us features we want, right? We basically take that, we've taken that forward into the business and been like, right, what do you want from us? How can we be better? And then we build tools that support that design.
Right.
Which is, I mean, it's increased. Our growth has went up now. Like we've went up maybe 50-75% in revenue in the last 2 months from building that stuff alone, because that user-centered designs allowed us to get more from the clients. They interact with us in a much better way, so they're putting out better quality work. We're able to do more stuff with that because we've thought about what we need from it, what they need from it. It's changed the way we work, and it's phenomenal, really phenomenal.
And what's the third thing?
The third thing I would say is I went against your advice for a really long time. I'm sorry, mate. I did. Right? I didn't have a proper client avatar, right? I was more like looking for customers that I thought were profitable. My client avatar was money, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, and it worked for us for a long time.
Yeah.
But now I've restructured the business, so I mentioned it in the Discord the other day, people asking about it. We dropped loads of clients recently in favour of a specific type of client.
Yeah.
And it's not a specific character, well, in terms of like, they don't have a specific physical trait, they've got a specific skill set that we're interested in.
Yeah.
And if a client can demonstrate that specific skill set, then that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that until we tested. So what I would say is don't blindly follow what you've said in terms of...
Yeah, something I've actually switched up recently as well. I've said to a lot of people, in one of the original parts of the program, I now say, like, in the client avatar part, that, like, don't just go, like, let's just say you've never done the agency before. Don't just go and pick a client avatar and then, like, I said, you need to take on a bunch of different people, a bunch of different ranges to figure out what works. And then it's almost like another way to think of it now, which is like, pick which market segment you want to go after is an easier way to look at it as well, rather than a client avatar. So like, for example, like that sheet that me and you did, like the what would make it unreasonable for the clients not to succeed, like almost like the pre-mortem side of things, but where you have the market segments of like, right, models, OnlyFans models making 0 to 10k a month, OnlyFans models making 10 to 50k a month, OnlyFans models making 100 to 500k a month, and OnlyFans models making over 500k a month. Those are the 4 market segments. There's no other market segments. And then how easy is it to find these clients? Who gets the biggest ROI from my service in particular? So like, for example, you might be an expert in working with models making 100 to 500k a month. I'm personally not an expert in working with those types of models. I'd rather work with the 10 to 50k a month models because they get the biggest ROI from my service. And so like, figuring out which market segment to go after, I think, is the best way to start, rather than like picking a defined client avatar before you've worked with everyone. I think a market segment can still work, but like a really defined client avatar when you've just started and you've not worked with any models and you don't know what's good or what's going to work with you is a bit difficult.
I think that's what people would often do is they're like, so, right, I only want to work with blonde girls and they have to be 19 to 24.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to be this size, they have to have this attribute, this and this. And they go ahead and they define it, and it's literally like the joke that Snow made, like pick your fighter basically. They're literally picking their fighter, right? Yeah. And then, but then they're blind to other potential business opportunities. So they might see someone, they go, they don't fit the avatar, I'm not going to approach them, waste their time. Or they might see that they've got an IG following that's too big inside their avatar, because that's another thing there's a fourth one, right? And I say this a lot in the mentorship, but for anybody who's not seen the message, I'm going to reiterate it again. Don't start the business and pick a client that's too big. It will kill you instantly.
100%.
Like it's a one-hit kill, mate. Like if you try and take on a 20k girl and you don't have any charters, you don't have any infrastructure, she will expect a thing from you that you cannot deliver, and your business is all right, because they all know each other, right? Most of these OF girls know each other. They're going to talk, your business is already sunk before you've started. You're in a bin.
Yep, I had a call yesterday. I showed her in one of yesterday's calls. I only showed like a snippet of it, but 2 new clients that joined the mentorship, and they've got 1 model. They're very like early days. They're making like, I don't know, like 4k a month, and they've just got 1 model. And I was like telling them to focus on the specific market segment that they work with. They clearly show that they can take a model from like 0 to 10K. I told them to focus on that like side of the thing, because they got one model and they're making 4K a month for themselves. So I was like, right, you've done it with one model, so that should be your market segment that you focus on for now. So just go and find models between 0 to 10K. And that way I said, like, you're not going to get distracted by if a model does approach you that's making 30, 40K a month, you're not just going to go and sign it, because that could just destroy your agency. I said, I know it's like a thing of like, oh my God, but is a model making 30, 40K a month? That's easy money. But if you look at it like that, that is going to fucking ruin it, because you're probably not going to see that money anyway. It never would be there. You can't actually deliver the results for it. So it's like, it's just, you can't do it. It's not actually feasible. So
if a model's making 30, 40K a month, right, she's probably already managed.
Yeah, oh yeah, they all are, yeah.
And you've just started, that agency's better than you.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's not.
And she'll notice it instantly. With all the little things, the onboarding, like, oh, this onboarding wasn't as good as the last agency. Maybe I shouldn't trust these guys. The way you communicate, the way you are, the way you can, like, every little aspect she will pick up on. My agency used to do this better than these. My agency used to do this. They used to do, and it's instantly it's game over.
You just don't get paid, and then you're in the bin. It's like, I'm really focused on delivering like the highest quality service to clients. So I've moved. We used to work with startup models because I knew at the very start.
I think it's a good place to start. I think it's a good place to start.
I think at the very start you want to pick a model that basically hasn't started.
Yeah, 0 to 10K a month.
Yeah, it teaches
well,
you.
I would say less than 10K a month. I would say like 0 to 5K a month is probably where you want to start.
Yeah, because like it teaches you three things, right? It teaches you the marketing side of the business. Because if she's making like, you know, sub 5K a month, she probably isn't marketing at all. Right? Or not marketing effectively. So you have to learn the marketing element of the business. Then it teaches you the chatting element of the business, because I firmly believe that you should chat first. I think when you start the business, you should chat so that you know what is going on in the business. Because then if you ever have to engage again in the business, be like, all right, maybe you have to go in and chat because one of your chatters takes time off or whatever, right? You should either know how to do it yourself to a significant level, or have somebody in place that knows how to do it at a very high level as well. Obviously, when you're expanding a business, you need to, like, I've got a chat man, I've got a chat ops director, and then we've got 2 chat managers as well. Like, we've got multiple chat sales now, but like when we started, it was actually just me and Jordan on the chat, 12-hour shifts each, whilst we were doing our 9-5s, right? So we would do our 9-5, and then we would do a 12-hour shift. And then we would sleep for like 4 hours, and then we would go back to work. And we'd done that every day for about 4 months until we started hiring chatters. But we've evolved now into a position where we took on too many chatters, and like my chat manager, Nicole, couldn't actually manage them. So I was like, we have to hire more managers that aren't you. So we hired 2 managers, we gave them 6 chatters each. And then and kept building that structure, right? It was like I built quite a traditional corporate structure, right? Because it's what I know, right? But it is effective. It works for a reason. Right? Everybody does it. So, like, but it's like you need that stuff to take on a model that's doing, 10K a month, because you can't service them otherwise. They have different business needs, and I think as you go through the business, you need to actually personally reevaluate your position all the time as well. Like when we got to we're doing 10K a month, we were like, oh, amazing, right? And nothing really changed. But see, when we started pushing to 50K a month, we were like, right, we need to reevaluate our business position. We knew how to call, you'll remember, right? And I was stuck at 100K, and I could not get past it. Literally stuck at it. And I'm like, I don't know how to, and like, but I wasn't thinking about it properly. Even though I'm standing here saying the things that I now know, I knew them before you kicked me up the arse. I was like, no, but do the thing that you know how to do, right? And then when we reevaluated the business, I was like, we're hiring the wrong clients.
Yeah, I think a big thing that was a big learning lesson for me, and I probably only learned this lesson about a year ago, maybe a bit more than a year ago, was I was getting to points of business where like you grow and then you sort of like a plateau, you grow, you get stuck. But what I realized is when you get to like the bigger numbers, like I would say like anything above 50 to 100K a month that you're taking home for the business, is you think you're stuck and you almost look for like new things and you look for like this thing that you haven't got yet, when in reality you just need to do more of the shit that you were doing. So like for example, like let's just say with the coaching business, right? I thought I was stuck, and I was like, I'm missing some type of information. I can't get past this point. And it was like, no, just fucking hire more appointment setters. If you're making 30K a month and you've got one appointment setter, just get fucking 5. Now you're making 100k
Yeah,
a
like,
month. It's literally that simple.
Yeah,
like it really is.
When we refined the model down, we were like, oh, we just don't have enough charters and enough positions. We were like, we just need more managers and more charters. We were giving the charters too much work, so they were ineffective in the accounts. Like when we busted that down, we were like, right, cool, we've got great staff, but we're giving them too much, so they're not effective. Like one of our best charters, right, like gets paid about $5,000 a month. Right, she's incredible. She's absolutely phenomenal, right? And she gets paid nearly $5,000 a month. But she was working on 6 accounts before. She works on 2 accounts now, and she was making like $3,000 before across 6 accounts. Now she's making like $5,000 in her commission across 2 accounts.
Focus.
Because she's purely focused on making that client money, but that client's revenue has also increased dramatically. Like she's went up what 20-25% on her account alone, because we've applied the proper focus. So like again, but another review of the business, I wasn't servicing my clients properly because we were stretching our own staff too thin. There was a time when we had like 20 clients. Now we only operate like 9. And we've got sustained clients. So again, we've got different business categories. Probably like yourself, right? We've got sustained clients that are making 90 to 120k a month. That's the sustained business. We know that it's very difficult to go past that. But we don't like pretend to the client.
You've got to get high levels of fame to get past that.
Exactly, right? You need to become.
You're in the game of making them famous.
Which is what we're moving into next. It's like how do we create attractive characters for our clients? But it's like once you get to that most people are happy, right? If you make them 100k. If you tell your model you're taking 50 bags home this month, most of them won't complain.
Oh no, definitely not.
I don't know many people that would complain about that.
No.
But like some of them are hungry, and if they're in that place where they're hungry and they want to say, well, how can I make 200k? How can I take 100k myself this month? I'm like, right, well, let's work on that. Let's do that. And we ventured into that space now, as an agency. Say like, I'm not going to reveal too much right now, but we're looking at like much bigger things now than just the OF space. Like we're looking at other significant media opportunities and actually pushing out into like mainstream media across multiple positions and stuff. And I've been working on that for the last sort of couple of months, and it's when it goes, man, it's gonna go big. Like we're almost there actually. We've got some big stuff coming in Feb, and some big stuff coming in May this year that's already pre-planned. Like with like actual A-list celebrities involved, and I am hyped to see what happens.
I don't think anyone thinks big enough in this business today. There's still people that are confined to doing fucking cold outreach on an agency page. Like
that's not a problem for me, mate. I am so aggressively greedy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, but in the right way. Like, I've not got bad greed. I'm not like, oh man, I just want all the money. It's like I've got this sort of it's like success greed for me. So like, I want to see the clients become as famous as possible, as effective as possible, as wealthy as possible. Because that's the measure of my business. I don't measure the business financially. I measure it.
It's quite fulfilling to know that you were like behind their success in a sense.
But like, I think the clients agree with that though. The clients are on board with that. Like because we talk about it regularly. We have like, so we've got a regular setup now where we send them like a 2-weekly update, and we contact the clients every day. We talk to them regularly, but like we have a monthly call with them. We have a 2-weekly update on Lumen stuff where we send them their statistic breakdowns. This is what we're predicting is going to happen this month, etc., etc. And that all of that feeds in to like a loyalty. We're extremely loyal to each other, and that we've built a brand together. Right, this is significant. We need to keep this now and continue building that. Like, how do we go from like your 10k IG that we built to 50k, 100k, 200k? How do we get you into this next position? How do we collab with this celebrity or whatever? Get to this trip, go to this guy's yacht, right? Like, building that brand and always being hungry. You need to match a client's pace as well. If your client's hungry, man, you need to be ready to move and move into that position and be ready to support them the whole way, rather than just being closed-minded and going, well, nah, we just do OF. Nah, do more than OF, do everything. Like get your expertise up in one place, but see when you're comfortable, do something else. Constantly expand so that you can give your clients the best opportunity to make more money.
And the easiest way to simplify all of that is just attention is the new oil. Again, that is literally it. Like, if you want to make more money, get more attention. That's the simplest way to put it down, really. Like,
learn to capture the attention of iPad kids, basically.
But going back to because I think I don't want to go I don't want to brush over that insight, because I think it's quite valuable for a lot of people here. Would you agree that like that insight of everyone, I feel like, is looking for the new insight? There's probably people watching this now making 20, 30k a month that feel stuck. would you agree that like they would just, that's all they need to do is just do what's got them there and just do more of it, like do more of the shit that's got them to that 20-30k a month, double down on that, like 2x every, like almost just look at it as like a doubles game.
I would say yes and no. I'd add a minor caveat, right, in that I think you want to evaluate your foundations first, because like saying just do more, are you set up to do more? So like you said yourself, right, well, you couldn't get one appointment set up to just do more, right? Like, you just do twice as many appointments, bro, and I'll give you more money.
Yeah,
that's not possible for him, right?
No.
So you've said that I'll just get I'll just 5x it, right?
Yeah.
That works. But like, be careful about rushing into growth, right? I've seen other agencies rush growth before, like, and so again, something I talk about a lot in the mentorship and the channels and stuff, when people are like, oh, I'm going to take on like 10 models, I've got all these meetings and I've got all these models that I'm going to do, and I'm like, I don't want to kill your enthusiasm, but you need to be very careful, because if you take on 10 models and you set up foundational to do that, it doesn't, you kind of just go and hire people in 5 minutes, right? It takes time. You need to trial them out and make sure they're effective for the business, unless you know them, right? I've been really fortunate that I know a lot of the people that work for me, and I say work for me, right? They work with me. It's more important to say that, because like they're all very important parts of the business, right? Like, and I wouldn't be here where I am today without them. That's a fact. And trusting them to hire the right people, like Jordan, there he is, Jordan, right? Jordan hires the charters, right? Nicole manages them, but Jordan hires them because he's got a lot of interview experience, right? He's the right guy for that job, and I just allow it to happen. I don't really interfere with it. I like to sometimes jump in the calls, right, to wind people up, just to appear, but like you need to make sure that foundational trust exists in your business, because you ultimately, if you want to scale, right, to the levels you've just described, you're doing 20-30k a month, you may be able to do that solo, maybe with one other person or a couple of charters, you can manage them, right? If you want to scale past 6 figures and go to like a 10k a day position, you need a full team. I've got like 40 staff, right? They're everywhere. But they're all very important parts of the machine, and they all, you need to have that foundational control where, you know, I've set up processes. So what you're saying, I wholeheartedly agree with, and that's what we're doing right now, is just doing more. But equally, what you need to do is make sure that you build the foundations to do more correctly, because if you do not, you're more.
You've got to be able to support scale. It's easy for me to just be like, oh well, like it's easy for people to say, oh, I want to make 100k. So like I had a call when we had a call recently, and I asked one of the guys like, what's their goals, and it was like 100k a month. I was like, right, so if I was to just give you everything right now to do 100k a month, would you actually be able to sustain and support 100k a month? Like, would you even know how to handle that type of volume, that type of clients? And he was like, no. I was like, right, so then we need to set up everything first.
At least he knew, mate, because if he'd said yes, you'd get serious problems.
Because then we need to actually be able to support that 100k a month growth, right? Like, because otherwise you're just first you're just not gonna grow there. But I think anyone doing above like 6 figures a month, like 100k a month, I think a lot of people, they might get stuck thinking that there's tons of new insights they need to learn, where at that point, when you're making 6 figures a month, it's unlikely that there's tons of new insights. Maybe there's little things that you can improve and get better on. But if you've got to that point, it probably is just doubling down on the shit that got you there and doing more of that.
So he keeps shouting at me now, he's like, get more clients, please. And I'm like, right, cool. He's like, I've got people waiting for jobs to come on and learn the chat business. And he's like, could you hurry up and get more clients? But like, I'm selective about the clients. I don't want to just take any client on. Like, so, like, calm down, right? I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing. But like I want to take on again, it's falling back to that foundation. I want to take the right client in. I don't want to just take anybody in. I want to make sure that they're a good fit for us, that they're going to work with the team well, and that they're going to fit into the systems that we've designed. Like, do you know what I mean? If no, I don't want to use the word difficult, but if we're going to have significant difficulty making somebody money, it's no good ROI for us. We want it easy, right? Like every other business, I want it as easy as possible. No, it's not an easy business, don't get me wrong, but I want the cleanest gel possible. So if I get a good feel for them in the call, and I think, right, I quite like this person, and I think they're going to do really well with us, then brilliant, let's go for it. So do you know what? That's the biggest advice, right? Make as much money as possible, but just don't rush. Don't be in a hurry to make more. It's easy for us to say, right? Because there's money there, but like, if you're really hungry for money, just don't rush, because you'll fuck it up.
You will fuck it up. So you've had this journey over the last 13 months, right? If you could, what was the progression like? So like, you know, you started this agency brand new in December. What was the progression in terms of like income, and then how would you achieve that in half the time? So like, for example, let's just say the first 90 days of working, you got to X amount. you know, the quarter one you got to X amount, quarter two, quarter three, and now you're at the point where you're making, you know, 200K a month, whatever it is. How would you achieve that in half the time? So it's taking you 13 months to get to where you're
I'd learn
at.
faster. To be honest, that's the answer. I would just learn faster. If I could go back and tell myself, right, about this
Like
stuff,
knowing what you know now, like
yeah,
what
pretty
would,
much.
yeah.
That, knowing what I know now and building the systems faster and being more focused. Do you know what? See, to be fair, see if I'd panned in my 9 to 5 much earlier than I did, I could have done this in half the time.
Yeah.
And I think probably, would you agree with that? He's nodding.
It's crazy how much people undervalue focus so much.
Like
crazy.
For a lot of the, again, there's a lot of young guys in this game, right? Like a lot of young guys that live with their parents. Like I've got a mortgage and stuff to pay for, right? I can't just walk away from my 9-5 and be comfy.
Yeah.
And like I needed significant securities in place to make sure I could walk away, which I have now done, right?
Yeah,
like 3, 4, 5x the securities I needed to walk away. But like that's just what I'm like. Like I am a naturally cautious person, right? I am quite like, don't get me wrong, I move fast, right? I'm very agile, but I am also very risk averse. Like I don't take significant risks lightheartedly. So like, and that's a significant risk, right? It's like, I've got kids, right? Like if I don't pay my mortgage, they're in the bin, literally, right? It's like, and for a lot of guys in the business, it's cool. Like, so for me, like it's a different story. I would say like you basically just focus up and deliver, and you'll probably do it. There's a lot of guys that develop faster than me in the mentorship. It's really good to see. There's a lot of guys that develop to 100K. A couple of guys I won't
there's a couple of guys in there right now.
There's a couple of guys that I'm speaking to on a daily basis now that are in my position 6 months ago in like 3 months. They're progressing to like a 50 to 100K position within 3 to 6 months. And it took me, you know, I think in terms of my progression, famously we done the 100K in 100 days job, right? We've done it 4 times now with 4 different models. Took them from 0 to 100K in less than 100 days. The best was 87 days to get up to 100K total. Not 100K a month, I stress, not 100K a month, but 100K total in less than 100 days. That's our actual operating model. That's what we aim to do generally, is make 100 grand in 100 days. And that focuses very much on the doubles game. So it focuses on taking an account from 0 to 5K in the first month, taking it to like 15 to 17, 20K roughly in the second month, and then bursting it to 50 to 70K in the third month where practically possible. And then in that extra half month that you've got to wrap up the extra 10 to 15 days at the end, that mops up to get you to the 100K, right? I realistically should have measured that better the first time we did it. So the very first client we took on, we did that with.
Do you use that in your marketing a lot? Like, or even on sales calls, like, you know, we've taken X amount of clients from 0 to 100K in less than 100 days.
A little bit, So
that's like what we are. Like that, you should brand your agency as that agency.
Pretty much, So you'll see like on our socials and stuff, we've got that on our socials. It's pinned at the top and stuff. We're rebranding at the minute, so we're gonna move in a slightly different direction, but we're still gonna focus on stuff like that. Like we've generated this much revenue.
You need to do a webinar, I think.
Probably.
And like with case studies and stuff like that, and like actually do a proper launch.
There's stuff that I've just not done, like because I'm focused. Like you know, I mean, you know yourself. Like your focus is now like 50 different directions at a time.
That title alone, though, for like a webinar, if you actually run ads to it and stuff, like where you showed how you took 4 different models from 0 to 100K in less than 100 days, that'd do really well.
Yeah, I think so.
And only you could do it, which is like.
Yeah, it's like I think. Because I mean, realistically, it's unbelievable. It's an actual unbelievable thing that you can generate 100 grand in 100 days. It's $1,000 average a day, right? It's mental. How do you start a business and instantly make $1,000 a day? Right? On average, at least.
Obviously, it doesn't work like that where you just start making $1,000 a day.
You make like $50 the first day. And you're aiming to double that, right? Up to you want to get to like a $3,000 average a day, basically.
What would you say were the main levers to actually pull that off? Like. Was what were the main levers to actually be able to pull that off?
First thing is you need a superb client, right?
A good client.
An excellent client, right? And I don't just mean like a client that looks good, right? Everybody's like, oh, she's a 10, so she must be a great client, right? You need a client that has got excellent business focus. You need a business-minded individual, right? To pull
more of
off.
a masculine temperament in a sense.
A bit, yeah. You need somebody who understands business, but ultimately does not have the levers to pull it off on their own, or understands the value of leverage, right? That's it. That's the best way to word it. You need somebody that understands the value of leverage.
Yeah.
So somebody that sees, right, I have all of the ways to make money, but I do not have the team to make that money, and they accept that a team is necessary, right?
Yeah.
It's like that qualifying question I always ask, like, right, so would you accept, based on everything that I've told you, that and working with an agency, any agency, not just mine, but any agency, is the way that you're going to make money.
Yeah, and as soon as they say
provide.
yes to that, it's game over.
But like, it's like accepting that though, right? Somebody that truly accepts it, not just says it on the call, but truly understands what they're telling themselves, that I cannot do this alone, because no business is run by one person, right? Is it small scale, but you're not going to make significant money alone, right? Very hard to do.
Yeah,
so
very rare.
Accepting, right, that you first of all can make big cash with a team, right? Getting that mindset in is key, and then they need the work ethic to sustain it. A lot of people, I think you actually done a video about it before. People start a habit and they do it for like 5 days and then they're done, right?
Yeah.
This is not a work for 5 days and not work for 10 days after. You don't work one week on, 2 weeks off, right? I've got a client that works 12 hours a day, every day, right? She's constantly active. She makes customs within 2 hours, guaranteed, right? She is active to make money. That is her sole function. That is what she is about, right? One of the most phenomenal business-minded people I've worked with, right, in the industry. She is an outstanding client, right? And everything you could ask for in a client, she brings to the table in terms of, right, she's responsive. She knows how the business works. She's clear on what she's going to do. Like, we've been clear in terms of, like, we're asking her, right, what do you want from the brief? What do you need to know to make this quick, right? And so we've designed systems for her that allow her to get the information. We're telling the charters how to confer information to her quickly so that she gets that data, so she can get the brief proper and get it done without any additional questions, right? Yeah. The way we've designed the way content's input into the system is slick for her, right? We've set up a way of doing that, a very fast process for her, boom, done. And all of that stuff results in her making 100k a month, right? But sustained 100k. You don't make 100k a month if you're not doing anything, right? You need to continue to work at that level to continue to make that money.
Well, just dip.
And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people get to like 50, 60k, like, I'm making 50 bags.
And then they relax and pull off the gas.
I've never relaxed a day in my life since I started here. Like, I went on holiday. We went on holiday for 5 weeks and we worked for 4 weeks of the 5 weeks. I think I must have took like 3 days off. At some point in there, like, just maybe to breathe.
You actually, it's crazy how it catches up. Like, so for example, over like the Christmas period, when I was like caring for my dog and stuff, I didn't do anything for like actually didn't do nothing. Like maybe a couple texts, maybe an hour a day, maybe. And I didn't do anything for like 5 days, and you don't realize in those 5 days, but then like 2 weeks later, those 5 days you took off impact you, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm making less money. And it's like there's a reality of, like, you can't, once you start something and you're making that kind of money, you just work more, and you actually have to fall in love with making the work.
It's enjoyable though, like,
That's the thing. You fall in love with the work and not the money.
We told her to start taking days off. We're like, go and take a day off, man. Go for lunch or something, your mates. Like, go and do something that's not this. You're gonna burn out, right? Like, you're working for like 200 days solid. Like, you need to take a day off. And she's like, all right, cool, right, I'll take a day off. So she goes into the city and buys some clothes, and it's not like getting into the city and buying content clothes. It's just getting, I just like that top, I'm gonna buy it, right? Cool. Have a coffee, man. Get your nails done. Don't take a picture of it today, right? Let's just take a break. And again, like, don't. I would say, like, it's one of the things, like, you need that in your mind. Like, you need to ultimately, it comes back to the service. Look after them, right? Look after your clients. Tell them to take a day off. I make 100 bags a month. You can take 1 day off. You're not going to collapse. But what the problem is don't get addicted to taking days off. Like, you need to work. But that ultimately is the blueprint to make the 100k in 100 days. You need the right client. That's the answer. All the systems around it, like the way we operate, is different to the way you operate. Every agency operates fundamentally in the same position, but we all do it slightly differently. You need to find what works for you and what works for your clients. I literally, in that call before, I said to the potential client, I was like, I might be the agent for you, I might not. We're going to do a trial for a month, and if that trial works, then I'm the agent for you. If I'm not the agent for you, then that's fine. We'll move on. No hard feelings.
That's an interesting insight, because that we found out as well. There's a lot of girls that have left their agencies to come and work with us and have done way better. And it's not necessarily that our agency was worse than us, but it was just a better fit. And then there's the other scenario where the other girls have came to work with us, and we just it just didn't work out. It didn't do that well, and they've gone and worked for another agency, and they've done insane. And it's like, well, that's just how it is.
It doesn't make them better than you. It just means that they have the right position for that model.
Yeah, and there's tons of variables that go into that. But I think the biggest thing for everyone watching this now is going to be like, well, okay, cool, like, yeah, that you say the client, but then how do you actually like know what to look for, and how do you actually find those clients? And then also the one thing I would say to that is, I think the easiest answer to it, I just want to answer it first, and then you can give your insight. But I would say is why you need to have like client acquisition down, because I think it's like because they are unicorns, the clients you're talking about.
Yeah.
So therefore you need to always have your funnel filled with clients coming through. So like, for example, if you could get 10 clients coming to you a day, maybe one of those clients is going to be one of those. Maybe like pretty much the more clients you have coming to you, you can filter through as quick as you can, hire, fire, as if you was when you're hiring for positions. You just do the same with models, see who's good, see who's not, get rid of them, and that's how you find the unicorns. And that's what we did. Like, we're signing models like on the daily. They don't stay with us for longer than 6 weeks, the majority of them. And like because we get rid of them, or not 6 weeks, 2 weeks. The first 2 week trial that we do, they don't stay past that 2 weeks, and we get rid of them, even if they're making 5K, 10K a month. Because we're trying to find those unicorns, because we understand if we do find those unicorns, even though we've got rid of tons of models making 5 to 10K a month, that unicorn's going to make all the money back, and it's going to be way higher leverage than having a bunch of models making 5 and 10K a month.
I agree. It's like we filter through dozens of clients to get to the ones that we have, and the ones that we have are all good, right?
Yeah.
But again, I'll filter through another 50 clients before I fill my next chat cell with 3 outstanding clients. Yeah. And I know that, like, and I'm alright about it. I'm fine about it. Like, my view on it is you just need to keep doing it. And don't. Like, people get emotional about it, like you just said that. Oh, but if I drop the client, I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, they get
5K
attached to one client. Yeah. That's how you get stuck. That's literally how you get stuck.
Just don't care. Like, just don't care. But like, you need to view it objectively. Like, if you can get a client in that's making 5K a month, then you can get another one.
Yeah, people delude themselves as well to thinking like it's like having a bad ex. Like, when you're in a toxic relationship and you like ignore to see all the red flags because you don't know what else to do, and it's all you know. And I think people do the same with clients, where they may be making 5K a month or 2K a month or whatever, and they're like, I could just, like, if they just dropped that client, moved on, cut ties, and went up on a better one, they do way better.
It's especially difficult in the early stages, right?
For 100%.
The guys, I see this a lot, and the guys are in, I say guys, there's girls in the mentorship too, right? But like, the people in the mentorship are like, oh, I've got this client, and like, we're making a few K a month, it's great, but like, there's this problem, there's that problem, and I'm like, right, but it's my only client, and I'm like, well, make it not your only client. Like, find another client, and then transition them out of the business, basically, because it's not working for you. It's causing you. If it causes you strife, you can't develop, right? You need to, like, I truly believe in running a very harmonious business. Like, everybody needs to be just doing stuff, right? And you need to know the problem about it. Yeah. And like, where problems occur, you need to be able to rapidly put this, like fires, right? If a fire's starting, put it out. Don't let it burn half your house down. Put it out immediately. Don't wait. It's like, I don't know if you've seen the IT crowd, man, that bit. Like, and he's in the bins and fire, right? And he's writing an email, and the fire is getting bigger and bigger as he writes an email to the fireplace, right? It's like, don't just put it out, mate. Immediately put that out. And like, sometimes putting the fire, it means dropping the client. But you got a client before, get another one. Once the hardest part's getting the first one. Once you get the first one, you just do, like you said before, right? Just do more of that, and you'll be fine.
Literally. I think that's where a lot of people do get stuck, and I think that's a big difference as well. Like, so for example, I think that's almost as well where luck can be involved for new agencies, right? So for example, why someone like, let's just use Finn as an example, who's about to touch 100K a month, right? He's been on the program like 5 months or whatever. The difference between him and someone who joined the same time as him, even though they've got access to all the same stuff, same information, even if they work the identical, obviously there's tons of other little variables, but even if they same IQ, same EQ, they work the same hours, if Finn does find a good quality client as his first one and that guy doesn't, that can be such a, like he can just speed off because his first ever client's like, he's got the luck on his side of the first ever client was good, and this guy's stuck on that client that he's scared to drop because there is his first client, and he'd be better off cutting her, finding a new client, and then he could catch up, but they get stuck there, and a lot of people get stuck on those shit clients. So like, your start is a big thing. So like, if that is you watching this, like, take the advice and go and find a good client. And you just need client acquisition is one of the most important parts of the business. You've got to be filtering through as many clients as possible to find the unicorns. It's as simple as that. There's over 6 million creators, and like only 2,000 agencies actually doing anything. There's like 10,000 agencies, I think, or 20,000 agencies, but only about 2,000 of them are actually like doing anything,
A lot
making
of
any
them
money.
a lot of bins as well. There's a lot of people
Tons,
that are
yeah,
agency.
tons.
Like, one of your creators was saying she was with a agency before, like, and she was like, "Oh, right, cool, it's fine, we'll get the work done." And the guy's like asking her to go and meet him and stuff like this. Like, I basically trying to get a date with the creator, and I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Get out together."
Yeah.
Like, it's you keep it professional, mate. It's very simple. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Right? Just don't be a creep.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
And like, so there's a lot of reasons like that. It gives us a bad rap as well. Like, it's not like a bad rap, but like, I don't. As I said before, again, on all my sales calls, I say the same chat, man. It's obviously it's like not rehearsed, but I've got the same lines, right? Like no one leaves us.
Yeah.
Right? No one leaves because my service provision's that good. That's not me being. It's not a flex. That's a thing I know. Right? I've got evidence for this. No one leaves.
Yeah.
People, we ask people to leave, but no one leaves.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I know we're in that sort of space. Inside that 2,000 agencies that's doing well, I know we're inside that top 100 because no one's going to leave. Like, I know we're in that top 10 maybe or whatever. Like, no, I'm not in the top 10. There's bigger guys than me.
Yeah.
Definitely. But like, do you know what I mean? I know I'm in a place where I'm very confident in saying, nah, come with us. There's 10k agencies. You know what I mean? There's 2k that are doing something, and we're one of the ones that's doing it right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, be a guy that does it right. I suppose is the advice I'm trying to get across here. Don't cut corners. Just do it properly.
Yeah, and even if we just look at the up-to-date statistics, there's over 2,000 creators joining the platform every week now. It was 1,000 like when you started.
Yeah.
It's doubled. Like, and OnlyFans as a platform's growing by like 78% a month, which is fucking crazy for a business that size. The fucking owner's paying himself $1 million dividend a day for the last 2 years. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, it's nuts. But yeah, there's a ton of game there. But should we go and see the whip?
Oh, mate, man.
Let's go and show the new whip. Let's go and show the new whip. Let's go see the whips. Right, yo.
Here it is, mate.
Stephen's new cars. I haven't actually seen it in the daytime yet. Like, he pulled up late last night and it was dark, and I'd seen it then, obviously, but I purposely not looked at it so I could see it now. This is sick.
What is the most ridiculous thing? Mate, it's so active. Like, hold on.
Start it up.
Right.
Why yellow? Why do you pick yellow?
It's my favourite colour.
Makes sense.
It just is my favourite colour, mate.
It stands out.
So.
What the fuck?
You don't forget it, mate. I think that's it. I picked yellow because you won't forget it.
Yo, let's go see how loud my car is.
Okay, right, go.
Listen to this shit. Got a new exhaust on it.
Right.
It's got a V8 turbo now.
Oh, mate, yes.
Listen to this, ready?
It's alright. It's okay. That's better. Should I? Hold on. Right, really? Oh, mate.
Oh, I'm literally going to play a Lamborghini exhaust on the video. It's going to pop and bang.
Mate, just record, man. It'll be fine.
So what would you say is the mindset that bought you this car? One valuable piece of advice. What mindset does it take to be able to buy a car like this?
It takes consistency, mate. Simple. It's consistency. You need to get up and deliver every single day. Basically, you don't get up in the morning and be like, ah man, I'm gonna play some Fortnite, and then I'll maybe make some bread
Just
later.
Fortnite though.
Fortnite's my personal one. Like, it's the worst game ever, mate. I'm sorry. I know you've got a historical love, but I just never gelled. Nah, but you don't get up in the morning and go, right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch 4 episodes of that season on Netflix, and then I'll make some money.
Yeah.
You get up in the morning.
It's got to consume you. It's got to be your personality. Yeah. Like your personality has to be work.
It's kind of gross. Like your personality basically has to just become making money.
Obsessed.
Like if you focus truly on the objective, right? I mean, you say it all the time, right? Ask yourself a question: how much money do I want to make? How do I make that amount of money? And then what do I do when I've got that amount of money? It was fairly simple for me. We were having a conversation. Everybody was involved in that conversation. It was like, right, I need to make X amount of money, and we're going to do it with this number of clients doing this. And then once I've done that, we're going to buy a G-Wagon. That's what we said, and that's what we've done. So I was talking to the guy yesterday because the next thing we're going to do is probably buy a perf. So like, we'll set like we can't just buy a perf flat, but like we'll look at we'll say 24 months, we're going to buy a perf. Or maybe they'll release something new, we'll do that. But like, we're going to buy maybe like a Lambo next. That's my next objective, because you need to progress. You need to constantly make progress. So, plus, this is a sensible family car I've purchased. Very sensible family vehicle. So I need a personal vehicle after, I think.
So you're going to start doing the Mercedes videos?
I'll do it now. Hold on. It's very important. Right.
New content coming soon.
New content coming soon on my Instagram. Mercedes.
I reckon we do this angle,
Right?
and then also exactly the same as this, but the other way. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because they said that's going to look sick, and I agree.
Jordan is a semi-professional car photographer, to be fair. He does car shows.
Yeah,
so we should have really just asked him in the first fucking place. Like, we're out here like, no, we'll figure this out. But I think...
Or should we just do it like you said?
So you can either
That looks...
do the cars so they're reversed in like that. See, exact same as that, except they're pointing out that way. So you can walk out the back door into shot because the camera's over here.
Yep.
And the cars are side on to use. So you're still the main focus, but the cars are in the background like the G shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right, so I need to point it this way.
Yeah.
Aye. So see like when you drove in and you were parked like that.
Yep.
Just turn it around the other way. So the
Literally reverse what we've done before. Right, cool.
So it means that literally, if you want to do like the fucking banging shot, so see like you say down there, oh let's go out and look at the cars. You could do like a shot of you walking out, and then flick a shot of you walking.
I'm going to leave this running now, man. See this fucking ghost alarm every 5 minutes, mate?
Yeah.
And probably this forward as well.
Yeah, I agree.
See if you want to do, like the backward shot,
Yes.
walking out the door, you want to be able to see like the actual cars.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, mate, we get you the full mic.
Yeah, bees.
Yeah.
We need to do a bloopers part, and like I need to do this and go.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Mercedes. I'm actually going to proper film one of them later.
Like when I do, I was talking about I'm going to become fucking unhinged as fuck when I'm doing it. Or like at the end, I'm going to start calling it a Mercedes, mate. Like Mercedes.
What I would do is I would bring yours forward as well, so you're in line.
I'm in line. Look.
That, but like, so when you walk out the door, you want to be able to see it, so it's all in line at the same angle.
Yeah, I
Right.
get what you mean. Yeah, I get what you mean. It makes sense.
So like, for this shot, like if your camera's back there, totally fine, because you could get the full walk round.
Yeah. Makes sense. That needs to come forwards. Yeah.
Right.
Because it'd be like off this line, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
Yeah,
it.
makes sense.
Right, tell me how far.
That's it.
Yeah, you literally come to this line.
So you can get the money shot, you just walk out the door with the camera behind you, so
Yeah.
you can self-thought
Yeah.
and see them.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then when you come out here, you've got all the space that you can talk here, and the cameras are still in,
Yeah.
the cars are still in shot.
What the fuck did he do? Stole it.
Ghost alarm, man. So if you don't do it right, and then he tries to put it in drive, the car cuts out. Stops his whip getting stolen.
Has it got paddles? Oh,
Right.
sick.
Flappy paddles as well, so like the car, they need to
Sick.
be like set up.
Yeah. It's good that it's got that though. I've seen some really complex ones where people are like, click the thing, click that. I'm like, bro, how the fuck do you remember that? Yeah, perfect. Perfecto. Yeah, that's sick.
So literally you can just set up the camera wherever you want to pop.
Yeah. This looks good from every angle, to be fair.
Right.
This is like where I had I bought my house picture, and it was like,
Yeah.
I had my car like center there. Yeah,
So
sick.
like, the way that I would recommend, you don't have to do it, but the way I would recommend, right, is film your talking point where you just walk out for that corner, and then you can talk with the cars in the background here, and then once you are all done, do the camera from here and you just walking out, and then when you go back in the house, to have the camera behind you so that you walk past the camera, open the door, and you see the cars.
17,000 angles for this fucking setup, bro.
And then if you really, really wanted to, right?
Get a drone shot also.
You could do the drone shots, or see when you're going to talk about like anything about the cars specifically.
Yep.
Just do a gentle walk round of the car, like with the camera, with no voiceover, and then it can layer like the video, so the voiceover is like if you're talking about something specific, that part of the walk round is there. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
It's a bit of a pain in the arse.
Nah, but we can do it with the gimbal because we can basically lift and shift that footage forever.
Yeah,
Because I can actually roll the motor to that corner there and keep most of the house in the background and do a walk around in this part of the drive.
Yeah, 100%.
Still get a fucking top tier shot, but like it can be like I've not got both cars. I can do one with both cars, do one with one car. Like, you know what I mean? You can fucking pretty much shoot your car any fucking time you like in this angle, but I need to rip the piss basically.
Yeah.
I might go and park it there, gaff. Like, bro.
Trying to see what angle for photos looks better. I'd be like this actually when they're for IG maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the best angle I'd say. Yeah.
He runs a business, right? So it's fucking sick. It's a really good business. He runs a business where he goes to hotels and shit, right? And he sorts their barrels. So in America, right, you need a qualification to change a barrel
What do you mean a barrel?
in a pub.
Alright.
Changing their barrels, but the barrels aren't like here. It's not like a standard keg. It's like fucking a 10x. So rather than fucking 50 litres or whatever it is, it's like 500 litre kegs. So like he fucking has a big fucking wagon basically. He delivers them, he rolls them, and he fits them, and then takes away the empties.
Someone's ruined my day with a leadership bag.
Wiggle. You need to wiggle.
This bag's gonna break.
It won't wiggle the bag. That's it. Keep going. You got it. Can't really fucking wash my hands now. This guy's an actual millionaire, mate. He can't empty a bin.
Where did your life experience comes in that?
Yep. Last night, mate, guy can't even blow up an airbed properly. Had to go and help him. Had to go and fucking support him, mate.
Which is useless, like.
Crazy, man.
Adam's the most useless so far.
Like, who leaves that fucking shower?
He just got like babied his entire life by his mum. So you just learned nothing, like can't, it's fucking crazy.
But Taylor?
No, Adam.
Oh, Adam.
Fucking hell, man. I left it open.
Sort it out, man.
I'll be satiated for a few months. I won't spend any money for a few months now. Like, I've spent, much of I've took on, I don't know, man, 40k in travel, another 80k outside. I've spent 120 grand this month. I've not made 120 grand this month, but I've spent 120 grand this month.
We've behaved ourselves since
I'll catch it though. Like, I'm not in a rush. Like, I booked a cruise to Greece, so when we went to Greece, so he was really
How
fucking
much
angry
was all the
about it.
Maldives stuff?
30 grand.
Fucking
10
hell.
people, 3k a head.
Yeah.
It was like a fucking...
I was like a Mykonos trip, that was like 30 grand.
But it was like a fucking top tier luxury trip, man. It was a fucking
They are
hand
good,
and
you
foot.
gotta do one.
It was a hand and foot job, like fucking. Like there was a guy who would come and pick you up and stuff in a golf buggy. Like you fucking, oh, I want to go to this restaurant, and they'd booked all your dinners for you, and all the restaurants were free basically. It was all paid for. And it was all 5-star restaurants, like Michelin star food and shit like that. Like, it was elite, man. So you could just walk around and order drinks any way you liked.
Yeah.
Like there was fucking boats and shit you could take. Like everything was paid for. Like I went jet skiing and shit. Like that was only a couple $100 basically on a discount because we paid for everything in advance. So it was sick, man. Like we're doing it again next year probably. We'll probably go to like we're talking about it now. We're talking about going to Barbados next year and doing like a fucking
Turks and Caicos, like go there. That was sick.
what?
Turks and Caicos. Where Drake always goes.
I can just see, man. I don't know. We've not picked an island yet. We're looking at Caribbean destinations next year. Falling off.
Yeah.
We're doing stuff like that. We've got, what else? I'm going to Greece again with Zoe. take her to the islands. I'm taking her to Crete, but I'm taking her to Mykonos as well on a cruise.
Mykonos is fucking
So we've got a couple of different places.
Mykonos is my favourite place on planet Earth, but
Fair.
I fucking love Mykonos.
And
So good.
we booked a couple
Been there
of...
like 6 times.
Fucking hell,
class.
man. And did we book 2 Airbnb? We booked 2 Airbnbs for a week at a cost of nearly 10 grand.
Every single time I've gone to Mykonos, I'm like, right, I'm going to go for 2 weeks, and then I just extend my stay.
For like 6 weeks. Like, sorry, I'm not coming back, bro.
We're just staying there for a week.
Yeah, it's just such a good vibe in Mykonos. It's just windy. That's the only issue. Yeah. It's called the Windy Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's known as the Windy Island.
I'm gonna have to hood up now. Like,
Oh, alright, hit them.
tech, bro.
Right, what camera? Oh, shoot me.
The
Just click
Canon,
the
mate.
button on the thing. What are we posing like?
Oh, gangsters, mate. I've got a tech on, mate. I need to stand like this. I'll do a couple, man.
Should we do like a handshake one by you as well?
Definitely.
Do a handshake one or do a fist one?
Got
Yeah,
to
we
both.
do both. Do we look at the camera? I think
Do both.
looks like we just bought a house or something. Welcome to the new crib.
This looks aggressive. Looks like we're about to have a fight, mate. This looks like a fucking standoff.
Well done, Matt. Well done.
Thanks, son.
Phenomenal,
Thanks, son.
phenomenal. Just kiss him. No, let's do a What else should we do?
Can I climb up on this yet? Can I get on top of this?
Do a couple where like you are pointing something out about the car and you're looking at the same time.
Like a candid, like
Oh, mate, like, that's fucking 22-inch wheels, son.
like
It's fucking huge. This fucking wheels are massive, mate. Like, they're actually the fucking... My brake discs are the same size as your wheel. It's fucking shambles.
continental tires, like
Got to, mate. Standard. Needs to be.
that's a nice red.
Mate, it's an AMG
Caliber.
caliper. That's an AMG caliper, mate. That's like a fucking
Wow.
£1,000 caliper.
So you don't need
And I
to,
am...
like comment on it.
No, we need to make it real. We need to make it real, mate. It's like £1,000 caliper. I never wanted to place that in my life. Ever in my whole
that
life.
red is.
Oh, Jordan, can we get the caliper sprayed yellow?
Yeah, you need the yellow caliper.
Yeah.
I don't know. The red kind of offsets it quite
I
nice.
suppose.
You want a contrast on it?
Do you?
Yeah, but I don't know. Yellow would look sick as well.
I think so. Mate, have you seen these AMG Brabus exhausts that I've got on, mate? Like, there's 6 of them. 6.
So it is. Is that what they actually are?
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
not even kidding. Like,
And
that's,
then
it's an optional, mate.
you just want to do one sitting in,
Oh, guy, climb in, mate, climb in.
past your driver, and then just pull the window down.
I'm involved in the mentorship. I've made bread. I bought a fucking G63. Do you want a G63? No,
Yeah.
you must be a brokey then.
Yeah.
Right? Like,